Hello and welcome. You're watching The Big Fight, a show that is not 24 years old but young at 24. This is the oldest running debate show on Indian news television. I'm Sanket Upadhyay. Now, only last week, what we were all waiting for, that announcement has happened. The dates for the state elections, the assembly elections have been announced. The result will be out in the first week of December. But we are going to focus on two states particularly. One is Rajasthan and the other is Madhya Pradesh. Let's talk about MP first. So here you saw that an experiment was started by the BJP where many central ministers and Lok Sabha MPs have been given the responsibility to go to these states and fight state assembly elections. What is the indication? What is the BJP trying to do? They've tried this experiment in the past, not at this grand scale. But what does this mean for Shivraj Singh Chouhan? He finally got a ticket. But then what does this mean as far as the fortunes or the fate of Shivraj Singh Chouhan? Is he going to be in if the BJP wins? Or is this ground being prepared for his eventual exit and perhaps installing someone else as the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister? State number 2, Rajasthan. Over here, finally when the ticket distribution in the BJP happened, you saw a lot of tickets being cut. Now that is standard practice in every state election. When tickets are announced, some people get upset, some start crying, some end up rebelling, some start contesting as independent candidates. But the interesting thing in the mix over here is that many of these people whose ticket has been cut are Vasundhara Raje loyalists. So what happens to Vasundhara Raje? Will it be so easy to fight this election with collective leadership and perhaps, as many analysts suggest, ignore the stall leader from Rajasthan, Vasundhara Raje? Is she really being ignored? That is also a subject matter. So on The Big Fight this evening, the topic of discussion: will state elections decide the fate of Shivraj as well as Vasundhara? Let me introduce our guest in the studio with me. Anurag Verma is a senior journalist with us. Thank you very much. We also have Vinod Sharma, political editor of the Hindustan Times. Thank you very much, Mr. Sharma, for joining us. Aditi Fadnis, consulting editor of the Business Standard. Thank you for joining us. PKD Nambiar is a noted political analyst. Thank you for joining us. Aditi Anant Narayan is a senior journalist in the studio with us. Thank you. Also, via satellite, we are joined in by Mr. Rashid Kidwai, a senior journalist. And we also have Shipra Mathur, senior journalist from Jaipur. All right, we begin the show with what is called the first punch, where each of you panelists get 1 minute time for your opening comments. Mr. Vinod Sharma, I would like to begin with you. Your time starts now.
Never write off a politician. So to assume that these elections would be the end of these two politicians is perhaps rather rich. But I must say that of the two, Shivraj Singh and Vasundhara Raje, Vasundhara is the destination face of BJP in Rajasthan. They don't have any other destination face. They tried to build one, a union minister, Mr. Shekhawat, but that hasn't really worked. So I think that we can't really blame the BJP for not trying to create a leadership, a younger leadership. They have tried, but they have not entirely succeeded. So in that sense, Vasundhara is so crucial for her, for the BJP in the upcoming elections. Insofar as Madhya Pradesh is concerned, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chouhan has had a long innings. Vasundhara was a two-time chief minister. He has had a long inning. And maybe one can really agree with the BJP that there could be a fatigue factor. But the way he is campaigning, he has made it into a referendum on himself. That on his chief ministership, on his claims to success insofar as various schemes are concerned. And some of his schemes are finding traction lately. Okay. So let us see what's in store for Shivraj and what's in store for BJP. But Vasundhara undoubtedly is something which can't be easily dispensed with.
And I agree with your assessment that you never write off politicians, which is why we were careful in choosing our words when we said, will these state elections decide the fate of Shivraj and Vasundhara? What is going to be their fate, Mr. PKD Nambiar?
Well, Sanket, I believe that an election cannot write the fate of senior leaders like what you were mentioning. Shivraj Singh Chouhan, who started his political career at the age of 13 as a Bal Swayamsevak, from there to ABVP to the which all positions. He was in the Lok Sabha, he was the three times or four times Chief Minister, and such kind of charismatic, and he's just 64. But a good political party, a cadre-based, systematically driven political party should have churning of leaders. A large party will have so many aspirants, so many leaders who would like to be given opportunity. I think it is the discretion of the political party to take a decision. No person should be bigger than the party. So whenever the party decides something upon, whether it is Vasundhara Raje, whether it is Shivraj Singh Chouhan, or for that matter tomorrow Narendra Modi, so the party will take a decision. And
that's
if you really look
bold
at
of you.
if you really look at, I'm very openly telling you, that's the way it should be. And I think the time will tell all of us. And in the case of BJP, whomsoever has been looking at the BJP over the last so many years, there is always been, there was an Atalji and Advani era, there was a different eras, Rajnath Singh and etc. So I think the turn keep on changing, the wheel keep on changing, the leadership should keep changing.
I think you've already indicated that the wheel, it's the time for that wheel to turn.
I think it's not a wrong thing. It's not saying everybody should be given an opportunity.
Okay, fine. Opening comment done. I found it very interesting when you said he's just 64.
He's just 64. In politics, 64 is somebody who is 54, he still considers himself as a youth leader.
Youth icon. Yes.
Youth icon.
Okay. Aditi Anant Narayan.
Sanket, if you ask me that whether Shivraj Singh Chouhan and Vasundhara Raje are going to be the chosen ones, probably not. But are they going to be the only options left? We don't really know. We all know that Vasundhara Raje isn't on great terms with the top leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party. When I was an active journalist, have seen her walking off the stage, not attending meetings. She's done that bit. But in 2022, Sanket, the number of visits that she had made to the BJP headquarters, everybody was asking that, is it time for her, or has she realized that this could be a make or break for her? It's time for her to patch things up with the top leadership. And she had made multiple visits within a span of 6 months. Cut to what has happened with Shivraj Singh Chouhan. A couple of years back, he made multiple visits to the Prime Minister's office. Everybody was of the opinion that he's going to be dropped as the Chief Minister. There will be someone else who will be replaced by him. What happened? He continued as the Chief Minister. But he is also giving very mixed signals by saying that, आप मुझे miss करेंगे, पर मामा जी को आना चाहिए क्या मुख्यमंत्री? That is a clear signal that he is a little unhappy with the party. Definitely, if he's taking the stand, talking about this in public, it doesn't go down very well with the top leadership of the BJP.
Yeah, one thing I've learned about this Bharatiya Janata Party is that when you think something should happen, that is when it does not happen. Yeah. It happens when you are not thinking that it will happen. Yeah, Mr. Anurag.
As far as Rajasthan is concerned, I'm sure, we all are sure that Vasundhara is a big face, she's a great leader, but BJP, new BJP after 2014 has changed, and there is no place for strong leaders like Vasundhara Raje. Whether they win or lose, but they will not accept Vasundhara Raje, the same Vasundhara Raje who she is. As far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned, what I have understood that Shivraj ji has somehow accepted, anything could happen. He might get CM seat, but
he might not.
He might not, and he is comfortable with any other option also. Any position in party or center, anything. But he has understood and he has accepted that. What we can make out from his speeches, his rallies, and his own body language. That is sure.
Okay. Ms. Fadnis.
A lot of difference between Vasundhara Raje and Shivraj Singh Chouhan. The plus Vasundhara Raje delivered to Rajasthan a sole BJP victory which has been unreplicated over the years. 123 seats in 2003, 163 seats in the election after that.
Yeah, 2013.
So that is not a small thing, because we know that Bhairav Singh Shekhawat, when he was Chief Minister, he had friends in all parties had friends in very unlikely places, and would always ensure a situation where the BJP would be on the verge of victory so that his friends would help him form a government in Rajasthan. So that in a way established his indispensability. Vasundhara Raje was not like that. But the downside was that this caused her to be perceived as being arrogant, being standoffish, and taking the advice of people who may have been her friends, but were not necessarily friends of the BJP. And ignoring the advice of those who were friends of BJP, for instance, at that time, like Jaswant Singh, against whom she instituted a case of Narcotics and Psychotropic Drugs Act for partaking in a feme, in a social ritual that happens in that part of Rajasthan. So all I'm trying to say is, many times BJP shoots itself in the foot. It has done so quite successfully in Madhya Pradesh as well. The backbone of Shivraj Singh Chouhan's popularity was his success at agriculture, expanding agriculture, particularly soya bean. Soya bean was not a crop that India was known for, but he championed it and did very well. Now India is importing soya bean. India has allowed duty-free import of oilseeds because of the war going on in Russia and Ukraine. And also soybean crop in Madhya Pradesh has been a total disaster because of so the farmers, the very people who propelled him to power, have turned against him.
Mr. Rashid Kidwai.
I think both Shivraj Singh Chouhan and Vasundhara Raje is staring at a very uncertain future in the event of the BJP victory in Rajasthan and the Congress victory in Madhya Pradesh, as pollsters are suggesting. Both are going to face relevance, and both are themselves to be blamed. They didn't, try to reinvent themselves. Vasundhara ji should have known the day Jyotiraditya Scindia joined the BJP and became a minister in Narendra Modi government. Then Vasundhara had no avenue to move to the central politics or national politics. She did not join. She and Shivraj Singh Chouhan, they did not join a kind of, any internal pressure group within the BJP with the help of Mr. Nitin Gadkari or others, bringing like-minded people. Not could she align herself with Mr. Narendra Modi the way Rajnath Singh and several others have been able to do so. And Shivraj Singh Chouhan in particular is a king without kingdom. Nobody, only the Delhi media is talking about his so-called achievements and schemes. The Prime Minister on 4-5 visits has not even made a mention of either him or his governance or his Ladli Bahina and all. That shows that the BJP has turned its back. So in the end of defeat, he will face certain, irrelevance within the BJP.
Okay. Ms. Shipra Mathur.
What I believe is that in Rajasthan, apparently in the first list, there are candidates who were supposed to be closer to Vasundhara ji, and they have not been given the tickets. So that is an indication in Rajasthan that the kind of weightage she was expecting from the central leadership is apparently missing at this stage. On the other hand, I think Vasundhara ji has been a leader, established leader, and as the other panelists said, that she has led the party in her 2 terms in a great way, in a very substantive numbers. And the central leadership has also not ignored her all through the political rallies. She has shared the stage, she has spoken, and she has been visible throughout. But the indication is that, because her name is not there, the allies or the people who were closer to her, they have not been given ticket, is an indication that there is something, not to say that central leadership is going to settle this scores, because the priority for the BJP is apparently that in these 5 states, the winnability is more important, and new faces is the priority. On the other hand, in MP, I see that 18 years rule of BJP, and since 2003, Shivraj ji is there. The collective leadership, as BJP is portraying as a strategy there in MP, is very apparent, because most of the MPs like Narendra Singh Tomar and the Agriculture Minister and Kailash Vijayvargiya, they have been given so much importance that the voters are getting a sense that there are so many people in the fray. So the indication is very clear, though the Shivraj Singh has got the ticket, that's very clear that he is going to be fielded and he's given importance. But that message is not there that who is going to be the chief minister's space. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Let me quickly come back to the studio and ask you this question, Mr. Vinod Sharma. In an earlier discussion right here on this platform, when you were asked a question about Ms. Vasundhara Raje, you remarked that she has the capability and the firepower to not just form her own party, but even perhaps win. Do you stand by that statement?
No, I had actually said that she could become a factor, a party which could become a factor in Rajasthan politics.
She can become a party herself.
She could tilt the scale in favor of two major national parties, one of them in the event of a close election, when there are numbers needed by both sides. You see, the point is that the BJP today is more of a unitary party than a federal party. And for that reason, there is a clear lack of communication or accommodation, so to speak, for leaders who had been around for so long in the state politics, both Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. I think that in the case of Vasundhara, she was not allowed to speak from the same stage as the Honorable Prime Minister. And the Honorable Prime Minister showered no encomiums on Shivraj Singh Chouhan while in his speech. Now, you see, if you are going to bring leaders from the center to contest state elections and mete out this kind of a treatment, which is a distant treatment, let us use a very polite word, then you are accepting that your leadership has failed in the states. No, that is not a good message to convey before elections. And the rivals can exploit this to their advantage. What eventually happens, only God knows. I do not know. I don't have a crystal ball before me. But I can assure you that a formidable challenge which the BJP could have mounted in Rajasthan doesn't appear to be happening. I was there in Rajasthan recently, and there was no wave in favor of any political party. While Mr. Gehlot has failed to create a class, voters class, through his affirmative schemes and all that. At the same time, the BJP has not been able to encash if there is any anti-incumbency against Gehlot. So it's even Steven today. Let's see what happens tomorrow.
Okay.
Why a political party should do that? This seems to be Indira Gandhi template at play again,
Mr. Nambiar?
One thing I can tell you that a cadre-based political party, the position of a chief minister or a ministerial candidate, being a ministerial candidate, should not be the ultimate aim. If you are a true politician and really meant for a political course, the power politics is not the only politics. And I believe that the people who have got a sunk background and etc., they will be at any point of time. Of course, at the end of the day, everybody is a human being. They will all have their own aspiration. If given a choice, one would like to be the chief minister forever, as long as you live. But that is not the method which we as a democracy should practice, and even any political party. In fact, if you really ask me where am I wanted to
just a follow-up, is the BJP practicing this in effect everywhere?
Almost everywhere. So you look
on all individuals.
No, so see, the classic example is Yediyurappa. He is definitely the tallest leader of South of India who has built a party in South, not only just in Karnataka.
Yeah.
And the person like him has been asked to removed is a bad word, but have been told to step aside.
Yeah.
And then there is a new, same is in Gujarat, wherein how many chief ministers have come in. So I don't think that there are charismatic leaders like, as you said, Shivraj Singh Chouhan, who have got a huge career and a huge aura, and as a very tall leader. Like in Yogi, in the case of Yogi, there is, in your state, for an example, or has got a charismatic leadership. But that does not mean that the party should decide where you have to serve, whether in the party, or in the center, or in the Lok Sabha, or in the assembly seat, at what capacity. If that party is not able to take that decision, then party is at fault, not the leaders. And I think in this case, they both are very highly respectable people. Vasundhara Raje is, she's 70 years old, so she will have another at least a 5-year-old political career, either as a CM or as a minister or even in the center. Maybe she may be the party may be storing some of these senior leaders for the next Lok Sabha elections. They may have a bigger role to play either in the party or in the government, whether it is somewhere or
I must say,
other.
Mr. Nambiar, you're quite, what should I say, affectionate with announcing the ages of the politicians.
No, I will tell you why. There is a reason for this.
Yeah.
In BJP, we all know that there is an unwritten expiry date, I won't say that from the point of view of our active political discourse.
Of
Maybe
75.
they may pursue a governorship. I know that there are two leaders who have been given a governorship offers, have told, they denied. They said that no, we would like to be in active politics, not in the power politics, but as an active
Okay,
politics.
just to, I'll come to you. Aditi, you see, he's saying that there has to be this healthy practice in a political party and in our democracy where you should have a second run or a third rung of leadership ready, and someone who's at the top must be willing to share power or share that space with the, that is how
Absolutely.
a democratic
Aditi,
system
with your
should
permission,
work.
I'll just one
Please.
word. So only one thing I'll tell you. For an example, CPIM, which I definitely, I don't like any of the communist ideology or anything, but then the way they practice, no MLA was given a seat after 2 terms. They will have to go back and work in the party or in some other structure. So I think a structure in the case of BJP is able to form over a period of time. I think it's in the interest of the party and for the country and the
You are
democracy.
fascinated with the ages of the politicians. You are praising the CPI and CPM. You are
I
questioning the
said that
Prime
I can
Minister.
never ever
Today is a
praise
lovely day.
CPIM or CPM. I'm here in Delhi because of CPIM.
Okay. You see, Aditi, let's quickly come back to the point on Vasundhara Raje. While in the case of Shivraj Singh Chouhan, as Mr. Anurag said in a previous broadcast, that he seems to, or he appears to be a bit more disciplined, for lack of a better word. And if a decision is taken, it does not appear that he seems to be putting up a fight. Will it be the same in the case of Vasundhara Raje, or does she still have some of that fighting spirit, so much so that she'll fight against her own also?
Well, she has fought against her own, but the fact this time that, for the BJP, when it comes to Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, Sanket, I don't think the chief minister is important for the BJP. If you look at the 5 states going to polls, more than 15% of the Indian population is going to be voting. And this just before the Lok Sabha elections in 2024. And if just a hypothetical situation, if the BJP does not even manage to get a single seat, this automatically will have a huge impact on how BJP is going to go and take ahead their campaigning for the next 5 months till the till the Lok Sabha election. So more than who the chief minister, I don't think the BJP right now wants to appease anybody, whether it is Vasundhara Raje or whether it is Shivraj Singh Chouhan. It is about winnability. Is Shivraj Singh Chouhan will he, after 18 years as a chief minister, will he be able to convert the state into a winning state for the BJP again, or will it be Kamal Nath?
Which is why I spoke about Vasundhara Raje.
And
we know what's going to happen with the
It's
Shivraj
very
Singh.
interesting, Sanket, because for the BJP, many of the insiders within the BJP still have the opinion that Vasundhara Raje can stab us in the back. Is there a confirmation that if Vasundhara Raje is not made the chief minister, can she not ally with Gehlot? Can she not ally with Sachin Pilot? And if you see how many, and in fact, I was speaking to somebody just last week, they said that we don't have an internal survey that proves that Vasundhara Raje will be in a position to actually twist things over considerable number of seats. So in that regard also it will be very tricky for the BJP to right now announce that it is going to be Vasundhara Raje. Cut to, if you see, and it's very interesting discussion that has been happening in the local circles of the BJP in Rajasthan about the sudden push being given to someone as young and a prodigy of Vasundhara Raje, Diya Kumari. That can she be somebody like that? No doubt about it.
Can she?
But definitely it's going to be a long road. But the BJP in all Lok Sabha elections at least tries to push for newer faces, younger faces. You see in 2019, the ministers who were made the cabinet ministers or union minister were relatively young, not going by the age, but were relatively young, not having an experience of being in central ministry, in the system. Again, in 2014 they did that. 2019 they're doing that. A lot of sitting cabinet ministers don't know whether they'll continue as ministers post May.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Let me quickly go to Shipra Mathur about this. Ms. Mathur, do you feel that the BJP is kind of forced to think royalty when it comes to Rajasthan. I mean, if to quote Aditi Anant Narayanan here, that trying to prepare Diya Kumari as the next leader, whenever that happens, perhaps looking at her as I won't say replacement, but
Not replacement.
yeah, but getting her to perhaps occupy the position once Vasundhara Raje occupied. Is this an obsession with royalty or the reality of royalty in politics?
That remains a fact that there has been a fascination for royal families, whether it's Rajasthan or in MP as well. But in Rajasthan, if you see, if I talk about Diya Kumari has been given a lot of weightage because she became the face of the flagship program of central government, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao also. And she has been projecting herself as women leadership because, Rajasthan, Vasundhara is seen as not just as a leader, but as a woman face of the state. And the way she has led the state is undoubtedly, some of her remarkable achievements, definitely. In terms of her, activeness in the state, I would just quote some of the figures that in Vidhan Sabha, because throughout 5 years, the point is that throughout 5 years, she hasn't been able to portray herself as a commendable force in terms of, challenging Gehlot government. So that has been one factor in Vidhan Sabha also. If you see the factor that how much her presence in Vidhan Sabha, she has least presence, 6%, 7%, and her presence in Vidhan Sabha in terms of her,
that's really poor.
6%. So that's 12. Vasundhara was 12%. Siddhi Kumari was the lowest, 6%, and 12% was her, her presence in Vidhan
No, even
Sabha.
12% is not much to write home about.
So yeah. So 6% is the lowest, then 7%, and then she comes third from the lowest position. So that is one factor, and also Sanket, I think as an indication to whether Congress will lead it in a big way. So in terms of schemes, if you see that the praises are showered on Shivraj also in terms of a lot of schemes for women especially. In Rajasthan also there have been schemes under the leadership of Vasundhara ji also, and now Gehlot ji has also announced a lot of schemes. But the fact remains that there's nothing against Gehlot per se. If you see that, I'm just giving you a sense of ground realities, when we talk about what people are thinking. So people are upset about the implementation and the level of corruption. We all are aware that the paper leaks and the corruption has been, and Rajasthan unfortunately has attained number 1 position in terms of crime against women and heinous crime against women. So that is the saddest state. I think we can pitch for that. We need change. The people need change. But definitely, the fate of Vasundhara is not a concern for larger population. The concern for the larger population is that whatever you announce, whether it's BJP, Shivraj politics or Gehlot politics, I think there is not much difference. They have been announcing freebies, but the ground reality is that people are really upset about the way it is implemented. The corruption is so rampant that people really...
So what I deduct from what Ms. Shipra Mathur is saying is that this fate of the leadership...
One thing, Sanket, that there are around 80 more parties who are in the fray in Rajasthan elections also. Small parties, BSP was there who merged with Congress. Then BTP has changed its names to Adivasi party also. So a lot of parties who are coming. So what I see is that there is going to be little disturbance in terms of vote shift and small numbers, even if they affect. It's going to be a very tough fight in Rajasthan. It's not going to be easy.
So all creatures, great and small, will matter in the state of Rajasthan. Rashid Kidwai, let's quickly get you on Madhya Pradesh, and then you can of course comment on the larger picture also. This conversation that we have had on the party becoming more and more centralized, I don't think there is doubt in anybody's mind that this is the reality. This is what usually happens. And it could be a continuation of the same process, and there will be this desire. It will please the central leadership of, say, the Bharatiya Janata Party to have a more pliant chief minister, someone who would be more attuned to the way they want things. So do you feel that is something which plays on the mind of the central leadership of the BJP when it thinks about deciding the future of Vasundhara Raje? It's not age. It's not about preparing a second rung of leadership, but more about compliance and being pliant.
Yeah. So I think, Sanket, this is a writing on the wall. You look at the kind of slogans that are being coined in Madhya Pradesh. Modi ke man mein Madhya Pradesh ke man mein Modi. So that whole election is being fought in Madhya Pradesh as well elsewhere on the name of Mr. Narendra Modi. So people are voting for Mr. Modi, or they are not, or they would not be voting. The BJP wants to experiment before 2024 that how much of traction Mr. Modi is able to get. This thing in my assessment, the BJP will win, Rajasthan hands down because of the collapse on the part of the Congress, and there is a disquiet within the party, etc. And therefore, that will lead to the relevance of Vasundhara Raje, because the BJP can get 135 or 140 seats out of 200, then they can appoint anyone as chief minister, and that will establish supremacy of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that Mr. Modi did not project anyone. And just like Uttarakhand, when the chief minister lost, in spite of that, the BJP recorded the best ever performance in Uttarakhand. So it's the same template that's being played everywhere, whether the BJP wins or not, but they want to project this and drive home this point that it's Mr. Modi who stands, tallest, who matters, and people are going to only vote for him. In case of Madhya Pradesh, where the BJP is likely to lose, they will blame it very conveniently. They'll say Mr. Modi tried, last moment very hard. He put his prestige in, this thing at stake. In spite of that, the BJP was able to get just 80, 90 seats or whatever they will get, and they'll blame it to the Shivraj Singh's misgovernance, anti-incumbency and everything. So that's a very clear template. There is no place for regional setup. This is why I'm saying that both Mr. Shivraj Singh Chouhan and Vasundhara Raje Scindia should have realized this, should have seen this coming, and should have worked. Either they would have rebelled, formed an independent party, forged some kind of understanding, and have Rajnath Singh kind of arrangement. What did Mr. Shivraj Singh Chouhan try to do? He became a bulldozer mama. Now, if you can only have an image of a mama, or you can have a bulldozer one. And bulldozer one was a very poor imitation of Yogi Adityanath. At least Yogi Adityanath is of Uttar Pradesh. He is, he's considered as, very hands-on at that end because of his saffron robe and popularity and all. He's seen as a contender in 2024 or beyond. So all this thing, these two leaders have just split it away. One kept thinking that she is Rajmata's daughter, so she will, this will arrive at the old school of politics that has no place in the new BJP.
I think one of the things that Mr. Kidwai said is very, very interesting. And Mr. Anurag, I want to come to you. He says that this could possibly, and correct me if I'm wrong in my assessment, Mr. Kidwai, that this could be a way for the central leadership and the Prime Minister Narendra Modi to test his own popularity ahead of 2024. If Absolutely. They fail, they blame it on the regional leadership. And if they succeed, brand Modi is still intact.
And Sanket, this is not only with the BJP, even with the Congress also. If they win, Rahul Gandhi will come and take the credit. And if they lose, the state leadership will be held responsible.
But then the popularity test.
Popularity test. But if you take Narendra Modi and all their elections in last 10 years, if they have won, somehow Mr. Narendra Modi was a key factor. At least we have to accept this. He was a key factor in all the wins. And in the defeat, as we all know, some state leadership will be responsible. So this time also, because Lok Sabha election is approaching, they have to test and understand where they are going wrong so that they can correct that point in next 6 months. That is also very important. There could be any caste factor, any regional factor, anything could happen. So they will have time to correct that. That is very important.
But do you think they have to wait for a state assembly election to start that process of course correction, Aditi Fadnis? This point that Mr. Kidwai made, I found it interesting that this is perhaps Narendra Modi's own way, or the central leadership's own way of testing their popularity.
Well, without contradicting Rashid, who knows a lot,
sure.
I would say that I don't think Narendra Modi needs his popularity tested at all.
Correct.
He continues to be wildly popular. And I mean, he is so popular that he could go to a party meeting after the Himachal loss and say, "हम प्रत्यक्ष रूप से न जीते हों, परोक्ष रूप से हम ही जीते हैं." So, for a prime minister or a party leader to say that is pretty impressive. So, I don't think he needs his popularity tested at all, but he is also trying to create something that Mr. Advani could not create, despite whether he tried or not. There could be two views on that.
And what is that?
Which is a second rung of leadership in the party. Many of Mr. Advani's junior colleagues held this against him throughout their lives. Many of them told me in person, I mean off the record, that he simply didn't want to give anyone a chance. And so...
No, a chance at what? Because there are many people from the Advani-Atal era who were trained and presented as leaders.
Well,
many of them were there in the union cabinet also, I think about 5 years ago. Now, of course, you've got very few left.
Being in the union cabinet is different. Creating a second rung of leadership is different.
I get it.
So, this was one of the things that people held against him. And this is what possibly the Modi-Shah team is trying to correct.
But are they?
I think they're trying to do it. The creation of Mr. Khattar, for instance, the appointment of Mr. Khattar, although in my view Mr. Khattar was not a big success story because, Haryana, they barely managed to form a government in the last assembly election, and this time I'm really not sure if JJP is going to play ball with them. But the fact is that even the present Gujarat Chief Minister, Bhupen Patel, is a bit of a rabbit out of a hat, right? So all this is an effort to create new leaders and to create...
Okay, I believe two people want to come in here. First Mr. Vinod Sharma and then Aditya Narayan.
No, I want to say that, you see, if you look at the Honorable Prime Minister's record as Chief Minister of Gujarat, the MLAs were changed wholesale every election. If you remember.
No, the whole cabinet was changed wholesale.
So, the point is that the Prime Minister, if at all he is trying to prove anything, he is trying to convey to the party people and party leaders that it is my writ that runs, that I am the sole force multiplier for the party at the hustings, which is already an established fact. But maybe perhaps he wants to drive it home further. Secondly, I don't at all connect these assembly elections to the upcoming 2024 polls. Now, I may not be sharing my friend Nambia's optimism vis-a-vis the BJP for the 2024 elections, but on this limited point, I agree with him. And my reading is that 2024 will also become an interesting fight if this new alliance which has come up is able to set up a direct contest in at least 400 seats. If it is direct contest in 400 seats, there would be friendly contests in other states, many states. For instance, West Bengal and Kerala, in Punjab, maybe not in Delhi, where there is a possibility of an alliance. So, it will be an interesting contest. So many things might be going on in the Prime Minister's mind, that maybe that he is trying to achieve some results or get some feedback or to find out as to how his party will fare if there is a bipolar contest in 2024. And he knows that will have to lend his shoulder to the wheel for the simple reason that there is no other leader in BJP who moves people at the pan-Indian level the way the Prime Minister moves. And in my view, where I disagree, perhaps if that's the strategy, that let all good men and women come to the aid of the party. That's what the principle should be. So you do not eliminate leaders in the run-up to a major contest. And if you are doing that, then you are running a calculated risk, in my view. I mean, I may be wrong tomorrow, but this is what I believe.
Okay. Mr. Nambiar and then Aditya.
Yeah. See, well, I'll tell you, the time has changed. Everybody, an Indian average voter today knows that who is they are voting for, whether it is a CM or a PM. So the tension of that, oh, yes, the whole credit will be taken away by Mr. Modi and no credit will be given to the people. I think you are mistaken. You remember that the UP election, none other than the Prime Minister and the Amit Shah ji, they both have praised the leadership of Yogi Adityanath, not just as a CM, also from the way he was doing. And whereas in the TV studios and in many other places, people were talking about that, no, the top leadership is not very happy with Mr. Yogi. But then what happened, what transpired, and even people have been talking even in the same studio. I remember that there was a talk that Yogi Adityanath will not be re-elected, or even if he wins the election, he will not be given an opportunity. I think a large party like BJP should not be predicted in TV studios or by the panelists. They are a very, very systematic, democratic political party wherein everybody is respected, everybody is given an opportunity, but nobody should take. And I think one thing is very, very good, that which has happened in the last 10 years, there is no permanent place. That this is not something like Sanket will sit in this seat forever. That is not guaranteed. Nambiar will sit in this seat forever. That is not guaranteed. You have to perform and you have to be working for the party and the society, not the other way around. The party will not be, you will not be bigger than the party. Even if any leader at any point of time think that way, then there will be an issue. That issue should be there in every political party. That's the way I look at it.
I like the personalized examples that you give.
There are a couple of other personalized examples also, which we should not ignore.
Like what?
Well, I mean, that's obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
There are some people who are above the party who feel that they are that they themselves
are the party.
Yes.
No, okay. I think one thing I'll tell you.
The point that Mr. Vinod Sharma made.
And Vinodji would be knowing it much better than me.
No, that this is not the BJP, not the organization of the BJP, but Narendra Modi is BJP.
You see,
that's the point.
The RSS, and you know the RSS perhaps better than I do. I've just been a watcher of the RSS from outside. You see, RSS was traditionally against any personality cult.
Absolutely. Precisely.
Now that is not the case.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
You see, the pivot around which the BJP wheel moves, we all know the pivot. It's the Honorable Prime Minister.
Yeah.
No,
and he has made himself virtually indispensable to the party. Yeah. Insofar as election politics is concerned.
See, I'll tell you one thing. There are charismatic leaders once upon a time comes up. Whether now you wanted to put even Indira Gandhi into that league, I will leave it to you. But I think Narendra Modi as a leader, what he has done has created both India or the Bharat as a brand across the world, and the way he transformed the people all across, putting together the pride of being an Indian.
This debate is about the fate of Mr. Shivraj Singh Chouhan and Vasundhara Raje.
I can only say one thing.
And he has
we can keep discussing Mr. Modi in subsequent episodes of the big fight.
Sanket, one thing is there, that chief ministership is not the ultimate for a political leader. Shivraj Singh Chouhan, as I said, beginning 64 years, and he has got a huge.
What is the ultimate destination for a leader? Raj Bhavan?
No, I think. See, that is something, that's a retirement life for,
you have already
you're too early to discuss that.
Margdarshak Mandal.
Yeah, or Margdarshak Mandal. What is the ultimate destination?
Margdarshak Mandal.
I believe that there has to be an age wherein one should take it from the active politics, and maybe, whether you call it like making a mockery of a Margdarshak Mandal and etc. I know a political leader who has 85 or 88 years old, and he is been very active. Even today he plays badminton, but he is not doing anything. But does that mean that the people who get retired in the normal life, and somebody keeps the role of a CM or whatever it may be for with him and his family forever?
Okay.
I think that will not work.
Don't wish badminton for Shivraj Singh Chouhan.
No, I am not saying he is too young. That's what I said.
He's 66, 67.
64.
No post is permanent.
And Vasundhara is also barely 70. That's not her age to retire in politics.
Okay. Aditi Anand Narayan, sorry.
You know what I was saying, that it's very well to say that the BJP is looking at establishing a second rung of leaders. But realistically talking, and I agree with what Vinodji also said, that can the BJP actually just rely on this second rung of leaders? If you look at assembly elections, there's no doubt about it that Narendra Modi is the biggest and the most powerful face for the Bharatiya Janata Party. If you look at what happened in Northeast, nobody had any inkling or nobody really thought that the BJP will even open its kitty in the Northeast. Yes, there was a massive help coming in with Himanta Biswa Sarma, but the fact is that all the credit went to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and no one was as powerful and as big as him. There have been other assembly elections as well where the BJP's inside readings have shown that in the last stage, and that's usually how the BJP works, that there is like a blitzkrieg, like a parachuting of all the big and prominent faces in the last leg of elections. And that's what they do in every election, and that's when the numbers start changing. So the BJP that way in all the assembly elections, from whatever I've learned from their internal discussions, is that even though if the initial stages they understand that probably it may be a losing fight, but putting in the Prime Minister at the fag end.
So the fight becomes neck and neck.
And also the BJP does not live election to election, in the sense that every election matters, but the BJP will not be looking at the assembly elections in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh कि अभी जीत गए तो ठीक है, we'll think about the next 5 years later. The rung that they'll be creating, or the chief minister who comes into place if the BJP wins in any of these states, that chief minister has to stay. Nothing was more embarrassing for the BJP than what happened in Gujarat, but at least for the BJP it came as a party which was willing to accept it and change the entire sitting government, including the chief minister, the junior ministers, everybody was changed. So at least that way, similarly what happened in Uttarakhand as well, the chief minister was changed thrice. The chief minister does not win his seat but yet was made the chief minister.
Okay, so Mr. Rashid Kidwai, do you feel that this is now the very famous Narendra Modi or new BJP formula of leaders either shaping up or shipping out?
Absolutely, and Sanket, there's also a Urdu couplet that said, "Jab Khuda husn deta hai, nazakat aa hi jati hai." It is success that's defining Mr. Narendra Modi and the new BJP.
Short and sweet. Huh? He made his point.
He's always like
Anurag.
Yeah, one thing is very clear. The way BJP changed after Mr. Narendra Modi, we all are talking the next line of leadership, but I'm sure nobody is ready to create that. Be it BJP, be it Congress. Nobody is willingly trying to create that. After Narendra Modi, BJP will again change. Which way, I don't know. But that is going to change. That is final.
I mean, that's very natural. Any company, even in a corporate, if a new CEO comes and new policies comes, and always remember that politics of today is like a marketplace. I always tell, even Rashid Bhai knows that it's a marketplace. What sells today is what sells. So you'll have to tomorrow. So
it's a God
ideological.
market.
Only thing is that what is left, at least because of the BJP, maybe the ideological spirit of politics is still exists. Otherwise, where is the ideological spirit?
You just said CPM.
CPM is always almost in the verge of collapse. Where is it? It's only in my village you can find now. That's in Kerala.
It means
that's it. There is no
ideology
other.
is collapsing.
No, I am saying, so that there's an ideology. Communism has collapsed across the world. So there is nothing called as separately here for. Just also, you were mentioning in that the people have an option to quit and create their own political parties. In the case of BJP, if you really look at it, all the regional parties, TMC, NCP, to so many parties which has come out of ISRCP,
Breakaway
all
groups
from
of the
a Congress.
Yeah.
But tell me one political party which is still there, who moved away from the a leader which moved away from the BJP. So the difference between a cadre party, wherein the party is more important than the leader. Yes, there will be a time wherein the charismatic leadership of a particular time, a particular leader will come. It could be a CEO, you call it, you president, or even somebody or the other. Because of his personality, there may be a change. But that's not a permanent. There is a base of a political party which still have, I believe that a rooted ideology of RSS is still exists in BJP in a true way.
Last comment, Aditi Fadnis, do you feel that this is a sort of a lose-lose situation for these two leaders? I mean, if the BJP wins, they may think of replacing these leaders, these regional satraps with perhaps newer faces. If the BJP loses in these states, then the blame will go on these two leaders.
I think so. It's quite sad because they have given a lot of their time and effort and have actually done a lot for the party. So to be cast out like this, doodh se makhi, is not very pleasant to watch. The worst thing is that your supporters are paying the price for being your supporters. So, I mean, many of Vasundhara Raje's supporters, for instance, may be leaders in their own right in that area. I don't know enough about it, but the fact is that they've been hived off or they've been removed. Correct. Because they are identified as her supporters. Yeah. So it's really sad, and
it hasn't happened just yet.
Well, her supporters haven't got tickets.
Let's not write off the people.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens. But thank you very much for joining us, and also our panelists via the satellite link, Shipra Mathur, Rashid Kidwai, and also all the guests in the studio. Thank you so much. This brings us to the end of this edition of The Big Fight. News continues on the other side. Stay tuned.